This is Pastor Mike here in the study. Basic to everything that we do here at Shelby Bible Church is the gospel of Jesus Christ. And when we think of the gospel, oftentimes we think of it in very vanilla terms. We're thinking of the death, burial, and resurrection, and we think about it almost in a very routine way because the gospel is so much communicated. But what do we mean by the gospel? When we say the gospel, we're talking about the reality of our condition, the reality of who God and Jesus are, who the Holy Spirit is, and we're talking about the reality of the fact that we can do nothing to change our condition, but we're completely dependent upon God to change that condition through the work that we define as the gospel. And when we look at that, we understand that mankind is sinners, deserving the just punishment of a holy God, and that man can do nothing to escape that on his own. There's no way out. There's no alternate plan. There's no, I can be good enough to get my way out. It is me understanding that I'm under the condemnation. Now, let me say in this afternoon that when we don't understand the condemnation we're under, then we never run to the gospel. And I think it's very important that we understand the gospel is not just a list of things that we assent to mentally, but it is a work that takes place in our heart, a place of humility where we acknowledge our weakness and our sinfulness, and we acknowledge our brokenness before God. And then we call out in humble faith in the finished work of Jesus Christ for our salvation. And without that, we don't have the gospel. Now, there's three words that get tied up in the gospel that I think bear some explaining, and I'm going to take the next few blogs to explain them. But just as an overview, we believe the gospel is justification. Justification is the declaration of God that makes us right. And then we believe the gospel is number two, sanctification. And sanctification is the fact that we are holy before God. The word sanctify means set apart or made holy. And that we are set apart before God. And that we are learning to be more like Him. And then finally, glorification. And that is the culmination of all that the gospel will do. And so justification, sanctification, glorification. And we'll hit those in the next 3 weeks as well, explaining them individually. Hope this will be an encouragement to you. We're praying for you, Shelby, this week and asking God to do a work in our services this Sunday. God bless you. We'll see you next time.